It's hard to believe we're already halfway through 2025, and lately in the middle of all my routines and goals, I've been asking myself, am I really becoming the woman I set out to be this year? I started with so much intention, goals, and habits to become the best version of myself, and while there's been lots of progress, there have been moments where I face the truth. Sometimes I'm just standing in my own way. Being present matters, but so does checking in, because the life we want isn't just something we stumble into. It's built choice by choice and habit by habit. So this is my mid-year reset. Maybe it's a reminder to you to take one as well. Be gentle with yourself, reflect on how far you've come, and realign with where you truly want to go. And you might surprise yourself, you're doing better than you think. Coming to you from my cozy little nook, chair, couch, whatever you want to call it, in the corner of my bedroom. If you recall from a previous video, I had my shoes thrown here, and then I finally got to organize my closet and moved my shoes out of the way. There was a mirror back here. There was an empty little space, and I thought this would make a fantastic little reading nook, or just sit here and ponder life type of nook. And we had seen this darling little boucle swivel chair in a furniture boutique that we had seen right when we moved here. It was one of the first places we went shopping at, and that's where I bought the marble stand, that same exact place. And we saw this. I really loved it and was just thinking about it for the last month. Went back this past weekend, saw it. It was still there, so we picked it up. Nice and cozy. I can put my feet up. Hopefully it will prompt me to read more books, but that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to sit down with you today, talk about where this first half of the year went. It went by so fast. I can't believe that it's already the end of June. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I created notes as to what I set forth to do earlier this year, and it wasn't even earlier this year. I initially filmed this video, I think it was in the beginning of November. It was the start of my Becoming That Woman series, my journey to 50. Yeah, it was 2 months after my birthday, which is September 8th, and it was, roughly 2 months after that, and I embarked on this journey to become that woman, the woman of my dreams by the time I hit 50. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional, but you know, it's a big, I did not mean to get so emotional. I mean, this is supposed to be very this is supposed to be enlightening and positive, and I don't want to be shedding tears. Hold on, let's just pause for a second. All right. Let's try that again. I set a bunch of goals for myself, things that I was already doing, but things that I wanted to concentrate on more and improve upon to reach that goal by the time I'm 50. Of course, life gets in the way. I've been trying my best to keep up with everything, but looking back at the list, I realize how much work I still have to do, and there's other things that have now been added to the list. Let's go through it. I'll try and be very brief and concise about it. I don't want you to just hear me rambling on, or though maybe it might help you as much as it helps me. I was thinking of how to approach this, and I've been watching other people's videos on how they're resetting for the mid-year. Basically, a lot of people have taken the word reset and used it as an anagram to basically analyze the last 6 months and where they need to improve upon that. So I kind of made my own little analysis, taking a little bit from here and there from other people, but basically putting my own words to the anagram, coming up with my own little method. I also watched a video from Lavender, and she was very helpful. She created 5 prompts, 5 little questions on things that you can ask yourself to basically analyze the last 6 months. I'm really not just analyzing the last 6 months, I'm also analyzing the last 2 months of last year, basically since I started this journey, which was now, it was basically 8 months ago. Let's start with what she prompted, and then we'll run into the resetting of the goals that I set for the standards or the new habits I wanted to create, I think is probably the best way to put it. Number 1, your wins and your highlights of 2025. Well, I think 2 major wins for me were closing my business, my bakery business of 13 years. To be quite honest with you, yeah, I mean, I had wanted to close it since 2020, since the pandemic, and I just, for some reason, just kept fighting to keep it. But I really knew since then that this isn't something I wanted to continue doing. That was right around the time I also started my YouTube channel, which I very much loved, but also quickly gave up once the pandemic hit, and then went back into it and gave up again and then went back. So this is kind of my 3rd go around with YouTube, and this time it's sticking. I'm really loving it and enjoying it. I wanted that business to close with or without YouTube, and if YouTube wasn't here, I would probably be moving on to something else. I just knew I did not want to be in that business for the rest of my life, even for the foreseeable future, but it did last another 5 years. Safe to say, I am ecstatic that the business is closed. Definitely did not close in the way that I wanted to. My hopes were to sell it, but of course I'm extremely impatient. Also, once we decided that we needed to move out of state, or we wanted to move out of state, it really just didn't become an option anymore. Like, we just needed to close and move on. I think everything happens for a reason, and although it didn't go away in the way that I wanted it to go away, I still consider it very much of a win, because I don't need to be stressed out about that anymore. It's just a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. There's still some other weight on my shoulders, but majority of it has been lifted. So that's fantastic. And another highlight, of course, is moving here to Utah. Since we visited back in March, we knew immediately that we wanted to create another new life here, make a big change for the 2nd time in our lives. What is it, 6 weeks now into it that we've been living here, and I'm so happy. I'm loving it, really enjoying it. Getting emotional again, but I think it's more tears of joy this time. I did put a 3rd highlight here, and that is starting my HRT journey. I can't say that it's quite perfect yet, but it is helping me feel a lot better. I do still think it needs a little tweaking here and there, but I'm just still so happy that I've embarked on this journey as well. There's still a lot to come with that, but it's definitely helping me feel, yeah, it's hard to put into words. I'm just feeling fantastic. I'm feeling really, really good. And whether or not it's the HRT journey, or it's the fact that I closed my business, or the fact that we moved here, I don't know, but maybe just the 3 of them together have just been really good things. Okay, number 2, what have I learned and evolved from this year? Well, I've basically learned that I need to just keep going. I need to just brush myself off, pick myself up, and just keep going. When things are feeling down, when things don't go your way or how you expected them to go, again, everything happens for a reason. I do really like that cliche that I'm not quite sure who coined it, but life is happening for you, not to you. I just need to roll with it, flow with it. That also helps keep the stress down, that's for sure. I take things very hard. I take things very seriously. I'm really just learning to let go. Life is going to lead you where it needs to lead you, and you can just follow along on that path. Let it happen rather than trying to fight it too much. I wrote down here, basically, turning your defeats into wins. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Like again, with the bakery, it didn't close the way I wanted it to close. It was for a reason. And the reason was probably because we needed to get out here and start a new life. That allowed us to do this a lot sooner. We closed one chapter and opened up another one. Number 3, review your goals that you set for this year and what updates and changes would you like to make. So let's jump over to that now. For my reset, I created following anagram. R is for reflect on the goals. E, embrace and eliminate what worked for me and what did not work for me. S is set new standards. This was from Jill's. If you watch her channel, she's all about female empowerment and finding your feminine energy. She's just a great person to listen to. She's very wise, although I think she's quite young. But she's really smart in how she helps you navigate through your feelings, your emotions. I don't know, just tapping into your feminine energy. And I think she's wonderful. But her S was set new standards. And she was basically saying about how you need to set standards, not goals. And standards are your bare minimum bottom line. You know, people have a standard and you don't go below that standard, basically is what she was trying to say. And that people fall to the limits of their standards, not to the limits of their goals. Something like that, she said. I'm not sure, but it made a whole lot of sense. That's the way I want to look at it, that these are the standards I want to live by. And it's not necessarily certain goals that I want to achieve, but these are my daily standards that I want to put forth and not fall under these standards. These are the new limits that I set for myself. E is going to be executing the plan, and T is to track my progress. So let's do a quick reflection of the standards and the habits that I set forth 8 months ago. My number 1 was self-care. Now that's an easy one because I've definitely been not shy of keeping up with my self-care, my skincare, my dry brushing. There's other things I listed here were my monthly or quarterly maintenance types of things like lash lift, Xeomin, and my root coverage. I'm about 6 weeks out without getting my roots done. I need to find a new salon here. I thought about maybe covering my roots myself, but I'm afraid of making a mess with the hair dye in the bathroom, and I don't want to deal with that. So I need to find a salon. I'm also reluctant to spend extra money at this moment, so I actually haven't had any Xeomin put in my face since October. So that is about 8 months ago now. I think this is the longest I've gone without having a treatment in probably 4 or 5 years, I'd say. And I forgot quite how much my face moves. I have a lot of forehead movement, and I guess I crinkle my brows a lot because the line here is getting very defined. I'm starting to see some static wrinkles on my forehead. I used to only just see them when I moved my forehead around, but I'm starting to see some striations here on the edges, and it's definitely not sitting well with me. I'm not happy about it. I need to feel like I can contribute to this family a little more before diving into getting all these extras. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But overall, I'd have to say the self-care thing is just totally fine. Number 2, movement. Strength training 3 to 4 times a week. Although I've had my ups and downs over the last 8 months, I can say that I have been pretty okay with strength training. I think in some points it might have only been once a week and sometimes twice a week, but I'd say safely the last 5 months or so, I have been very good about being consistent with at least 3 times a week. 3 has definitely been my minimum. Since moving here, I've been really good about being very consistent with it, pretty much 4 to 5 times a week. That on top of the walking, I went from walking with my friend in Newport probably 3 to 4 times a week to now walking with Brett every single morning. Not every morning, I mean Monday through Friday. We've been walking Monday through Friday very consistently for at least an hour, and it feels really good. I would like to walk around more during the day because now I find myself sitting at a desk a lot instead of this this is shame on me because I do have a standing desk. I just feel like I can operate faster and more efficiently when I'm sitting down, and it probably just means getting used to standing up instead of sitting down. When I'm editing videos, I just feel more comfortable sitting down. That's probably something I need to work on. We probably get about, depending on how fast we walk, anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day. And then I just feel like I'm not really making up for it for the rest of the day. So I do want to try to get a minimum of 10. So that does mean I need to be standing up and moving around a little bit more. I did mention also flexibility. I am being a little more diligent about stretching every day after working out, whereas before I wasn't stretching after I worked out and my muscles always felt tight and sore. It's amazing how much stretching really helps soothe your muscles after a workout. Okay, next we have our healthy habits. To improve my immune, my gut health, and my energy, I wanted to aim between 110 to 140 grams of protein in my diet daily. I think on many days I hit a minimum of 100, and on really, really good days I'm definitely hitting the 140. In order to do that, I've definitely upped my protein intake from fish, and I've been eating more salmon and shrimp. That's really only been in the last month since moving out here. I think that's what it takes to get that protein up. I honestly thought about adding more animal products into my diet and actually starting to eat red meat or chicken again, but having not touched that sort of thing since I was 16 years old, it kind of makes it very difficult for me to think about tasting that again. I don't know. I just not quite sure I'm there yet. I think I'm doing just fine with getting it from fish and from dairy. I'm happy to continue on with that. Increase my fiber to 25 grams a day. I'm definitely missing this, and I need to improve on this for sure. Cutting out processed food. I say for the most part we eat quite cleanly, but my bad habit, of course, is getting a little sweet treat every time we go outside, and you see it on this channel all the time. I'm constantly having a little pastry with my coffee, or we're going out and having dessert. I'm definitely overindulging on sweet treats, and I need to curb that because I feel like although I have a bit of an 80-20 rule, I think sometimes the 20 seems to be creeping more to like 35-40. Also, I wanted to drastically decrease alcohol, and I would say that I have. I did go several months without drinking any alcohol, and somehow I just started having a little champagne here and a little champagne there, and I really want to get that back down to 0. It's quite infrequent, but I still really want to minimize that and eliminate it altogether. So I'm continuing to work on that. Education, podcasts. I definitely fled myself with podcasts and listening to a lot of content out there, mostly surrounding women's health. So definitely over consuming on that. What I'm under consuming is reading books. I've only read 2 books since I embarked on this journey, Atomic Habits and The Let Them Theory from Mel Robbins. And although they were great books, I was very slow to get through them. I only set a goal for myself to read 10 pages a day. Shame on me for not doing that, but I also don't want to be that hard on myself. On one hand, how hard could it be to just read 10 pages a day? I'm a slow reader, so it would only take 10 minutes probably. And on the other hand, I don't know. I just don't get around to it. Finished The Let Them Theory, finally. I finished it last month. It was a really great book. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was quite repetitive in its nature, but I think that was the gist of it, trying to drill it into your brain about all the points that she's trying to make. And now I'm reading How to Make Friends and Influence People. I just started it. I think it's going to be a slow read for me. Just even the first 10 pages or so were the ability to influence people in relation to politics. And I was just like, it was like giving me a history lesson. And I was never good in history. That was my least favorite subject in school. I don't really want to learn something through getting a history lesson from it. I don't know. So I'll try and get through a little more of it, but maybe I might just pass on the book and move on to something else. See, isn't this chair so adorable and cozy? I can just put my feet up and relax. Love it. Okay, next up was romanticizing my life and just creating a very positive environment, positive energy. I think I've definitely improved on that over time. I still think I have a ways to go, but I am trying to appreciate life and romanticize life, especially out here. It's quite easy. I mean, you just look out the window and it's just absolute gorgeousness out there with the mountains and the clear blue sky and just the heat. I love the heat. I mean, it's been hitting over 100 degrees here. I kind of like stepping out and feeling like a hair dryer is blowing on me. I don't know, I just love that. So I'm really enjoying that. Practicing gratitude. My husband and I continue to practice gratitude every single evening before we go to bed. We recite 5 things from the day that we are really truly grateful for. I have not been writing in my 5-minute journal as much as I would like to. Many mornings I start off writing in it, but then you need to revisit it at the end of the evening and enter 2 more little journal entries about what you learned in the day and what you could have done to improve the day. I think that's what it was. See, that's how little I look at the end of the day. I always start off the morning with it, most mornings, and then I don't get back into it in the evening to write down my thoughts. But I do practice the gratitude at night, so I'm gonna just cut myself a little slack there, and it's not the end of the world. Also, manifesting a life. I'm trying to live in that positive energy of living with abundance, living in a mindset that you already have what you want. That's a little hard. I'm trying. And comparing myself to others. I think I've improved greatly on this. I am really trying to just keep myself in my own lane and not worrying about what's happening around me, because only I will drive my own success. I can't stress myself out about worrying about what other people are doing. The more I really accept that and learn from that, the better off I will be. Keeping a tidy home. This has definitely improved since moving here to Utah. I have been really excited about our new space and being here, and I've definitely been keeping up with our daily cleaning routine, spending 10 minutes a day just finding a spot that needs a little cleaning and taking care of it, and I've definitely been doing pretty well with that. Our kitchen cleanup at the end of the night after dinner. Yes, we're always making sure that we have a nice clean kitchen, running the dishwasher, cleaning what needs to be cleaned, and having a nice clean kitchen to start the morning off with. So that is basically a little rundown of reflecting on my goals. Now, what do I want to embrace and eliminate? Well, I guess I kind of said it already. I'm currently eliminating extravagant treatments that I was getting. I mean, not that extravagant, but extra bits of self-care that I don't really need, like the lash lifts and the Xeomin. In lieu of the lash lift, I've actually discovered a mascara primer. This primer has changed my lashes as far as how they look. I mean, it's just an Urban Decay lash primer, and I apply it before mascara. It just gives me these spider looking lashes. I feel like it's changed the look of my face. It opens up my eyes a little more. I feel like they look bigger, and it's basically doing what I wanted the lash lift to do, and probably less expensive. I don't know, there's not really anything else I want to eliminate. Perhaps maybe just the pressure of reading 10 pages a day, because I certainly wasn't following that. I think I'll just enjoy reading when I want to enjoy reading. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to eliminate. I think these are all quite necessary, and I'm very happy to continue embracing pretty much everything. Now, setting new goals. Here is where I wanted to talk about, new standards, excuse me. Setting new standards is the S. I did jot down here a couple of things. One is to severely improve my productivity. I feel like this has been a bad habit that I've been growing over the last several years, probably 5 years. Because at the bakery, I would basically barely work on Monday and Tuesday, and then, come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was scrambling to get things done, to meet deadlines for orders and weddings and that sort of thing. Basically do nothing Monday and Tuesday. I still find myself falling into that rut. I am scrolling on the internet far too much. social media, especially lately. I've been trying to grow my Instagram. I find myself just scrolling and scrolling on Instagram, and I'm not even being productive. It's just like I'm just going down a rabbit hole and looking at what everyone else is doing. And meanwhile, I should be taking that time to be creating my own content and doing my own posting rather than looking at what everyone else is doing. And that is driving me crazy. I think in the last month, my husband's really picked up on it and it's driving him crazy. So I definitely need to fix that bad habit and reduce the amount of consumption, spend that time a little more productively. Also, I feel like I need to tighten up my morning routine and really get myself on a schedule. We wake up around 7 o'clock in the morning, get dressed really quick. We're out by 7:30 to do our morning walk. We walk about an hour and 15 minutes. Come back, then Brett gets ready for work and I continue to work out. I will pop on a YouTube video and do a workout for about 30 minutes. Then after that, that's usually around the time I start checking my phone and start deep diving into social media and wasting a lot of time. Then I shower and get my makeup on and I have my breakfast and my coffee and scrolling a little more and wasting more time. And before you know it, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. And what have I done all day? Nothing. Nothing. And then I get really mad at myself for wasting so much time. And I just need to start treating my career, my YouTube career, as a job, not as just a little side gig that I do on the weekends when I'm not busy with my cake business. Well, my cake business is gone. This is the new path that I want to go on. This is my new career. I need to start treating it like a job. It is something I'm really enjoying, something I want to take seriously, and something that I really need to get in the habit of treating like a business with deadlines and with responsibility. Also, still remember to have fun with it, because that's probably something that was the demise of my cake business, was the fact that I stopped having fun with it. So I hope that that never happens with this. But my goal is to try to produce 2 fashion videos a week and to produce 1 vlog per week. I realized with this vlog a few weeks ago that I had come up on my 1st year anniversary with this vlog channel and that I was nowhere near where I wanted to be. And so since then, I have been trying to be quite good about producing a video at least every week, or as close to a week as possible. I have seen a little bit of growth on the channel as a result of that, which I think is fantastic, and I'm so grateful for that. And hello, everybody that's out there. I really appreciate it. But I still have work to do because this channel needs to get monetized. I'm currently making absolutely zero on this channel. If it needs to be part of my business, it needs to start generating a little bit of income. That's not to say that YouTube is a moneymaker, because even on my fashion channel, I just am not making the kind of money that you need to make as a full-time self-employed business. I think a lot of people have the assumption that if you're making social media, you're making a lot of money. And I think I can quickly squash that by showing you what I made from YouTube last month on my fashion channel. That's what I made in a month. That was my May payment, $350. If you watched my vlog last week, we went to the supermarket and spent $450 at the supermarket. So 1 month payment from YouTube does not even pay for a week of groceries. That's my reality. Sometimes I feel like I'm just going nowhere, but I know that the potential is there, and I know that with continued hard work that it's going to pay off. I mean, when I first started my cake business, I wasn't making any money, and this is kind of just what I have to do. I have to just go through this huge learning curve, and when someone has a new business, they're often not making money. They're just throwing money into it and not getting anything out of it. And that's what happened with my cake business, and that's kind of what's happening right now. But I do feel that overwhelming sense of I just feel like I just feel like I'm not contributing. And that's also why I don't want to be spending money on lash lifts and Botox, because I'm not contributing to our household and I don't want to be spending money. I just feel like I'm not useless, but like I'm just not contributing. And I just want to feel like I can make my own money before I can justify spending it. That's why I really need to take YouTube and Instagram and just, I need to take this career seriously. That's where I need your help too, because as hard as I work, I can't control what my audience does. And that's why you always hear us content creators begging and pleading for those likes and the subscribes and, stay on the channel, watch as long as you can, put us on in the background. Because every view is a penny, literally a penny. So it helps. It's a few hours later. I'm in the middle of editing this video and I realized that I just wanted to clarify something. The only pressure that I am feeling is the pressure that I'm putting on myself, the pressure to succeed in this new venture and the pressure to start earning money. In no way, shape, or form has my husband put any pressure on me. In fact, the reason we moved out here to Utah is so that we could have a little lower cost of living, so that he could support us on his income and allow me to do this, allow me the luxury of creating YouTube videos and trying to get this next career off the ground. And it's just the pressure I'm putting on myself, because I don't like feeling like I am not contributing, and I don't like feeling like just, I have no sense of value, and I just don't feel complete unless I'm successful. I think that's where all of this is stemming from, but I just wanted to clarify that it's no pressure coming from my husband. He is rooting for me and cheering me on every step of the way to be successful at this. And this is strictly the pressure I'm putting on myself. So those were basically my new standards, new things I need to put forth for myself, or being more consistent with my content creating. As far as finances, I did write finances here too, and a lot of it is the fact that I'm not contributing. When I am able to start contributing, I want to be able to save. That's another thing that I've been majorly stressed out about in this last 6 months, just approaching 50. You think about where you want to be at 50 years old, and I just feel like here I am starting over once again, and I'm 50. I don't have a career. We've just moved to another state, starting all over again. I mean, thank goodness at least Brett has his job security. It's just really hard. I mean, I guess I've been working since I was 21, almost 30 years, and I don't really have anything to show for it. Didn't even walk away from the bakery with surplus of money. I have debt from the bakery. I have debt from COVID and from the construction. I mean, I have debt even just from building the commercial kitchen that I still didn't even finish paying off. It's just really hard to start all over again, basically starting from a negative, and it's just disconcerting. But I'm gonna, like I said earlier, pick myself up, brush myself off, and just keep going. Focus on the new, positive, wonderful things ahead. I do need to put together some sort of financial plan, so when I can start making a little bit of money, I can start saving and contributing towards our future. We don't want to be working until we're 90. We want to be able to retire. We don't have pensions. God knows if we'll have Social Security, or, that's not going to be enough to sustain life on. Yeah, we've just kind of lived a little too in the moment and not really lived for the future. Now I feel like it's really haunting me because I'm turning 50 and I'm not where I'd like to be. Now, as far as the E and the T, the executing the plan and tracking the progress, I will try to be a little more diligent about tracking my progress and making sure that I hold myself accountable for the standards that I want to have in my life, not being so a little overly relaxed about it, although I don't want to put pressure on myself because I need to keep my stress down. So I definitely don't want to put an enormous amount of pressure on myself, but I do want to make sure that I'm maintaining at least what I've been doing if not continuing to improve upon it. I mean, I think this video is getting really long, so I'm so sorry about that. Let's just move on to the other questions from Lavender and see what else we have here. Okay, so her number 4 was goals for the rest of the year. Did already touch on that, making YouTube my career, treating it like a job, not a hobby, and being able to contribute to the household. Also keeping my health, fitness in check, and keeping stress down. So yes, I already talked about that. Number 5, she asked, how aligned do you feel towards your dream life? Are you at a 1? Are you at a 10? Are you somewhere in between? I wrote down a 4. I feel like we still need to get settled here. I need to find a routine. I need to create a work schedule. I need to continue to grow my brand. I don't know where this career will lead me. I mean, who knows if social media will be around in 10 years, in 5 years? I mean, it could all go bye-bye. So I feel like I need to create some other forms of income. And I wonder if maybe I would branch off to doing a little bit of personal styling, perhaps some consulting. That is something I want to explore, because I feel like putting all my eggs in one basket might not be the smartest thing. I don't know, it's all something that it's feeling very brand new and just very, not even in the infant stage, basically in the embryonic stage right now. So I have a lot to ponder on that. And also, of course, creating a financial plan to be able to retire comfortably, because this is something I should have done 20 years ago, not now as I'm approaching 50. Better late than never. But yeah, I feel like I'm at a 4 because I don't even feel like I'm halfway there yet. There are certain aspects of our life that I feel like are at a 9 or a 10, but there's other things, given that I'm basically starting all over again, that's just taking that average right down. And then her last question was, what will it take? Basically all those things. It feels like there are some large things I need to still tackle. This has been really good to sit down and talk this out. I feel like I really need to put together a really substantial game plan for myself and hone in on growing this business and just getting really serious about it. By the end of 2025, I really want to be in a much better place with YouTube. Yeah, just I don't know, just to be able to have something that I'm really proud of, and I'm already proud of it, but I just need to continue to work at it. Let me know if you have any thoughts on anything, any suggestions or words of wisdom, because I could really use it right now. I was hoping that this would make me feel empowered, but I think it's just leaving me with an overwhelming sense of not dread, but just knowing that I have a lot of work ahead for myself. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get this going. I need this second half of the year to be extremely positive and just continue to kick butt. I'm feeling like the momentum is there. My fashion channel is doing quite well. It's really wonderful. I'm getting really close to hitting 30,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. I would really love to reach 1,000 subscribers here on this channel. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Really, truly does help the channel out, because they have certain thresholds for us creators to meet, and one of those is to have 1,000 subscribers. Every one of you counts, and I really need your help on that. Next one will be a lot more uplifting and positive. Not that this wasn't, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to have you here. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you for letting me talk through all my feelings, get this all wrapped around my head, and just make sense of it, I guess. I don't know. I think I really shed a lot of light on this. So anyway, just thank you for letting me spew all my thoughts out here. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye.